Well, folks, I'm Albanian, okay, mostly, okay? And I wanted to go to the place where my blood is from. My people left Albania centuries ago, lived in Italy, and then came here. And very little is known by anything of Albania, by anybody. I decided to go. And because my family is so long gone from there, my only hope of being able to navigate and learn would be to stay with a group of sisters that were led by Mother Teresa, who was Albanian. And so I made arrangements to go and stay with them. And Albania was really wild. First of all, Albanians are dramatic. We are emotional, we are passionate, and we take everything to a little bit higher level than other people. Okay? Our positivity can be really positive, and we want to get a bad, foul attitude. Well, we'll call our country hell. Okay? This is actual laws in Albania. We do everything in the extreme. I want to give you a little bit of a feeling about us. All throughout the Albanian countryside are these concrete bubbles. They're everywhere. And I'm asking people, like, what are those? Well, they're bunkers. And what are they there for? Well, turns out they had a very Albanian dictator who overreacted to the threat of attack and made one of these for every single citizen, every single family. And I said, well, who did you think was going to attack? You. They thought America was going to attack at any minute. And I said, us attack you? People in my country don't even know you exist. They couldn't find you on a map if they had to. And here you are preparing for this imminent attack, with that exaggerationalness of Albanians. I love the fact that a lot of people use them as planters for their trees and bushes and stuff. Flip them over and find some positive use out of the bunkers. There was an energy to them. Just a little bit of here to catch what we're about. It was so wonderful everywhere to just see, whether reading poetry, everything's done with feeling. Yeah, that's it, girl. You go. Okay, they gotta make faces, they gotta fool around. Everything's done with feeling. These kids can give you a total sense of Albanians. You see the wildness there? One of Mother Teresa's nuns was from India, and she was always complaining. And she said, look, it's easier to control 100 Indian children than 6 Albanians. Yeah, that's us. That's us right there. We'll do anything for you. You cross us, we'll wipe out your whole family before you can say Merry Christmas. That energy, look at that. That's us. That's the whole country. It was a wild experience to just be around people with the same energy. And the same appearance. I was looking around like, there's my grandpa right there. There's my Uncle Frank right there. There's my brother Nick. There's me. And not only that, but it's the way we do everything, the way we drive. Albanians have no patience driving. The whole capital city was people like my family, just driving around like as fast as we could go and complaining and yelling and screaming. I don't know what they're saying, but it's like the whole country is yelling, what the F is wrong with you? That's just the way it is. It was so cool to just be there. And, oh, this was funny. The nuns would give me jobs to do that were impossible to do. And they said, there's 50 kids over there, organize a soccer game for them. I don't speak a word of Albanian. The only lyrics they know at that point were Eminem lyrics. And the nuns were wondering, why are they using language? Because they all know English. The Mother Teresa's nuns know English. They're like, why are all these kids using words like this with Tony? So anyway, I had to try and communicate non-verbally. So my way of expressing like, enough already, was just to go like that. And they picked it up, and they loved it. And all the kids were like, Tony! And that was a big thing of connecting with everybody. I'd like to share with you a couple of lessons I learned there in Albania that were kind of painful. And some of them were good, though. Some of them were good. The nuns would give my stuff away. They wouldn't let me give my stuff away. They would give it away at the right time. Everything is whatever sister says, sister gets. And Mother Teresa's nuns are all like little dictators. But anyway, there was this way to be giving stuff to the children that I brought. And there'd be this woman that would jump in, push kids down to get her share. Ahead of the kids. She would do this all day long. Every time there was food or gifts or anything, she'd be jumping in to get her share. And then that night, the nuns come to me and say, she needs a ride back to her farm. And I got to drive her. And I'm thinking, I'd do anything for anybody. Why her? And that drive was forever away. I'm talking like an hour and a half into the mountains. I don't even know how I ever got back. But I came back and I said, what was that all about? I watched this woman act greedy and jump ahead of children to get her stuff for her. Why are we helping her? And the nuns didn't even hesitate. They just said to me, distressing disguise. I was like, what does that mean? I found out what it meant was, for them, they chose to not look at the behavior, the external side of the person, but to see the good or the God within. That person is God for them in a distressing disguise. That stuck pretty deep. The other lesson wasn't not so pleasant to learn. On my last trip to Albania, the nuns just didn't call on me to help the last couple of days I was there. And then they made a big show of saying goodbye. And I said, what was that all about? I came here to help. And you never even showed up. You never called on me. We didn't do anything for 3 days, 4 days. And they said, you're not holy enough. And you don't eat enough. I don't know which one hurt more. No. I know I don't eat enough on these trips. But anyway, and that was it. And I was like stunned because I knew I had lost my connection to the country where my roots are and the ability to be there with those people and to have those continued experience and keep those bonds alive and to do some good there too. And it hurt me a lot, but the lesson I learned was this. The year before, I had brought 6 volunteers, 6 helpers, 6 missionaries. And at the end of the trip, the nuns went up and down in the farewell ceremony, and they said, you can come back, you can come back, you can come back. And I thought that was messed up. I mean, because it was done in front of everybody, including they left 3 kids out. I didn't say anything because on one hand, they were the 3 that were the laziest out of the group. And the other thing was, I said, these are holy women. They know what they're doing. Maybe they have some vision here. Didn't say anything. And I learned, you see something unjust, you say something, because it could eventually be you. A year later, it was me. And that's when I learned, like, open your mouth if you see something that isn't fair or it's hurtful. It was especially hurtful for me because they're known as the missionary. You know how painful it is to be treated so uncharitably by the missionaries of charity? What does that mean about you? I don't know. But anyway, with the good side of that outcome is I've never been back to Albania since then. But I have been able to stay close to the kids now that they're all growing up. And they come to the United States and see if they can visit. And we're very close and everything. So get some Albanian lessons there.